It is a cold morning in the Alpine foothills, and the smell of pine resin fills a small workshop. A single bulb throws yellow light across a workbench, scattered with chisels, gouges, and shavings curled like autumn leaves. In the center, a block of Swiss stone pine slowly gives up its shape. A face is emerging from the wood, and it is not a kind one. This is the season of the Krampus, the horned companion of Saint Nicholas who stalks the villages of Austria, Bavaria, and the South Tyrol each December. For centuries, communities across the Alps have marked the 5th of December with processions of masked figures, half beast and half man. The masks are not costumes bought from a shop. They are carved by hand, one at a time, from a single piece of timber. And the men and women who carve them are the quiet guardians of a very old tradition. The word Krampus is thought to derive from the old High German Krampen, meaning claw. In folklore, the creature is the dark shadow to Saint Nicholas's light, punishing the wicked while the saint rewards the good. Historians trace elements of the tradition to pre-Christian winter rites, later folded into the Christian calendar. What survives today is a living ritual, at once ancient and stubbornly modern. In the villages of the Salzburg region, the run of the Krampus is called the Krampuslauf. Young men strap on heavy suits of goat and sheep fur, hang cowbells at their waists, and pull carved wooden masks over their heads. They pour through the streets by torchlight, chasing onlookers with birch switches. The spectacle is loud, thrilling, and just a little frightening. And none of it works without the mask. The mask carver is called a Larvenschnitzer, from Larve, the German word for a ritual mask. In many villages, the craft passes from father to son, apprentice to master, over generations. A single mask can take 100 hours to complete. It is chiseled, sanded, painted, and fitted with real horns from rams or goats, sometimes bone teeth and glass eyes that catch the firelight. In the workshop of a carver in the Gastein Valley, a rough block of pine sits clamped to the bench. The wood must be light enough to wear for hours, yet strong enough to survive years of processions. Swiss stone pine, known locally as zerb, is prized above all others. Its grain is soft, its scent calming, and its weight forgiving on the neck of the young man who will wear it. The carver begins with a sketch, sometimes a clay maquette, but often only an image held in the mind. He drives the gouge into the wood with steady, practiced strokes. A brow appears, then a snout, then the deep hollows that will become the eyes. The face is not designed to be beautiful. It is designed to unsettle. Every carver develops a signature. In one village, the masks are broad and grinning, with tusks curling upward. In another, they are gaunt and grim, with tongues lolling from open jaws. Collectors and dancers can often identify a mask's maker at a glance. To wear the mask of a respected carver is a mark of pride within the Krampus group or pass. The horns are chosen with as much care as the wood. Traditionally, they come from mountain rams and billy goats, gathered from farmers across the region. Each pair is unique, curling in its own particular way. The carver fits them to the mask so that they seem to grow from the skull itself. When the mask is finally lifted into the light, the horns give it its terrible authority. Painting is the final stage and the most secretive. Some carvers use oil paints, others acrylics, others recipes handed down within the family. Layer upon layer builds up the illusion of aged skin, weathered scars, streaks of blood. The eyes are usually the last to be finished. When they are set into the sockets, the mask, in the carver's phrase, wakes up. For the men who wear these masks, the transformation is profound. Once the mask is on, the wearer is no longer himself. He is Krampus, older than memory, freed from the ordinary rules of the village. Anthropologists have long noted this ritual doubling, common to masking traditions from Venice to West Africa. In the Alps, it is a rite that binds each generation to the last. The tradition, however, has not always been welcome. In the years after the First World War, Austrian authorities tried to discourage the Krampus runs, calling them uncivilized. Under the Austro-fascist government of the 1930s, the figure was denounced as a pagan embarrassment to a Catholic nation. Yet in the villages, the carvers kept carving. The masks were hidden in barns and cellars, waiting for better times. Better times came slowly. After the Second World War, the Krampuslauf returned to the streets, tentative at first, then bolder each December. By the 1970s and 1980s, the tradition was flourishing again. Tourists began to arrive, cameras in hand. Television crews came to film the runs. What had once been a village secret was becoming a spectacle known across Europe. With visibility came commerce. Today, a finely carved Krampus mask can sell for €2,000 or more. Some prized examples change hands for far greater sums. A small number of master carvers now work full-time, shipping masks to collectors as far away as Japan and the United States. But most still carve part-time in workshops behind their houses, after the day's other work is done. The rise of the market has brought new tensions. Cheaper masks, some machine-milled or imported, now flood the lower end of the trade. Traditional carvers worry that the craft is being diluted. In response, several alpine associations have introduced certifications, distinguishing hand-carved masks from factory imitations. The question of what counts as authentic tradition is now debated at village meetings each autumn. There are other debates as well. Each year, injuries during Krampus runs make the national news. Onlookers are struck too hard by switches or knocked to the ground by charging figures. Some towns have introduced rules requiring padded costumes, safety corridors, and sober performers. The carvers, for their part, watch these changes with quiet unease. A mask, they say, is meant to be feared, not softened. Yet the craft endures, and in some places it is growing. Younger carvers are studying under retiring masters, filming techniques, keeping detailed notebooks. In the town of Kitzbühel, an annual mask exhibition draws hundreds of makers each summer. There, generations gather to compare tools, timber, and technique. Beneath the noise of the market, the old apprenticeship still moves quietly from hand to hand. For some carvers, the work is a form of devotion. They speak of the wood as though it already contains the face, and their task is only to release it. They speak of listening to the grain, of feeling when a cut is right. It is language older than the workshop, older even than the tradition itself. It belongs to every craftsman who has ever bent over a piece of raw material and waited for it to speak. And so, each December, the devils come down from the mountains once again. Bells thunder in the darkness. Torches flare against the snow. Behind every horned face is a piece of pine, and behind every piece of pine is a carver, and behind every carver is a chain of hands stretching back through the centuries. The Krampus is terrifying because he is old, and he is old because someone somewhere is still making him. The workshop bulb goes dark. The chisels are laid down for the night. On the bench, a nearly finished face stares up at the ceiling, waiting for its horns, its paint, its final breath of life. Outside, the first snow of the season begins to fall over the valley. In a few weeks, this face will be worn through the streets by torchlight, and the old story will be told again.